Good morning, and we are live back again at the trailer park. It is Pasta Thursday. Craig Pasta Jardula is joining me. You have been super busy the last 24 hours. I haven't got enough, though. I can tell you that. How you doing?
Thank you. Doing what I can do to get the word out there. Yesterday I was able to launch my Give, Send, Go. This is the one for the campaign, for RFK's campaign. But I'm also, like I told you, Chanda, when I get out there, if there's Cornell West is somewhere close by, I'm going to go over to that event, or Marianne Williamson if she's there, or Vivek Ramaswamy or Tim Scott. I'm going to try to campaign, for the campaigns and get out there and cover these. I'm even going to start a new YouTube channel with some clips and some other stuff outside of the Convo Couch to do so. So thank you to all those people who went to my givesendgo.com/RFK media, and RFK is all caps. You can go there. You can help me out. We've got the ball rolling, and I can't thank you guys enough. I'm going to make this happen. And, we're going to have a great election season as far as coverage. And you know me, fam, I'm going to ask the tough questions.
Oh, we know. That's great. I've got all of your donation links except for the new Give, Send, Go in the description box below. If you want to help Pasta out, you want to help me out, we appreciate it. Independent media only happens because of you. You want those tough questions being asked of these candidates. You got to put Pasta in their face, and that takes donations. Don't give it to the candidates. Give it to the independent media, because they're the ones that are going to give you the real answers, not the candidates. I watched your breakdown with Jose yesterday of the town hall, the Newsmax town hall, and I got a lot of questions. We've got a lot of clips, but I think you brought one first for us to get started, right?
Well, I did. I have two clips, in fact. Do you have my clip, the one I clipped up, or can I play that one first?
Play it first. Go ahead and just share it.
All right, let me go ahead and share it. So I know a lot of people are always saying, well, why is he running in the Democratic Party? It's so stupid. They're going to cheat him. And then at the end of the day, he's going to endorse Joe Biden. And I've said from the get-go that it doesn't make a difference if he does endorse Joe Biden. I can tell you this much from what I experienced with the Tulsi Gabbard campaign. Those people aren't going to go vote for them. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to go over and support Joe Biden. 90% of the people who follow RFK are going to vote for Donald Trump as their second choice. So the question was asked to him last night, and I have it here on record. Should I just play it right now?
Yeah, go ahead and play it. But I just want to say, Elizabeth Vargas, oh my God, what a shitlib. What a nasty shitlib.
Oh, this girl? Yeah, here we go.
The interesting thing, I thought, Chris, I'm not sure what your highlights were, but I found it very interesting that he refused to pledge to back whoever the Democratic nominee of the party is. I think, in fact, we have a clip.
I wasn't impressed.
A lifelong Democrat, as you just said, very passionately. Will you pledge to support whoever the Democratic nominee is, whoever it is, whether it's you, whether it's President Biden?
Oh, of course I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to. No, I'm not. Listen,
if you don't get the nomination, you won't support President Biden?
I don't know what he'll do. Let's see let's see what happens in this campaign. Let's see, if people are living up to democratic values and having debates and having discussions and, talking to each other. But I'm not.
So that's not happening. Would you then support a Republican or run as an independent?
What my plan is to win this election. And I don't have a plan B.
The interesting.
I'm tired of that line.
Yeah, but I mean, he's not. I mean, and I'm not, once again, not being biased.
I don't have a plan B. That's a cop-out. That's a fucking cop-out to me. Oh, until we have democratic values. Democratic values. We haven't had democratic values in forever. I don't know. I feel like this is a cop-out. A lot of people love that he said it. My doctor friend, she sent me a complete breakdown last night of everything he said. And they love it. They love it. They think, oh, he's going to go independent. But we've been down this road before. We've been duped into thinking that somebody would turn their back on the Democratic Party and go independent via Bernie Sanders. And I don't want to get Bernie Sanders 2.0 Pasta.
Well, you're not going to get Bernie Sanders 2.0 because, like I said, anybody who goes and votes and supports RFK is not going to support Joe Biden in the general election. It's just simple as that. They're diametrically opposed. They might be running in the same party. And, you know, I like the fact that RFK is now running as a Democrat. I didn't like it at first. I really wish he went independent. I wish he would have went on the libertarian ticket. But the fact that he is holding the DNC's feet to the fire, and they are just getting so frustrated by him. News Nation is just a step to get into the bigger networks because just like Donald Trump, right? They can't keep their cameras off him. What bleeds reads, or what do they say back in the days? You know what I'm saying? Like that. This is where the action is. This is where the information is going to. So they're going to go and start coalescing around trying to cover him. And they're going to try to attack him the way they did. Chanda, I don't know what it is. I wish people would go watch that Megyn Kelly interview with RFK. These people, it's like, you know, and Chris Cuomo gave this woman accolades and said she was great.
He gives everybody accolades.
She got a C+. I moved it to a B- because she said that was her good moment. But, you know, I'd still keep it around a C+ if you wanted to. Does anybody do any research when they talk about vaccines with
You're not
RFK?
allowed to.
Aren't they understanding that he's going to be ready for this and that they shouldn't just take what somebody said and try to attack him on this?
That's what they do. That's what they do, Pasta. We know that's what they do. Why don't you check your bit rate? Or your frames per second. I think maybe you're a little cloudy today. Might be your internet. I don't know. But
my internet is strong. The video resolution is there. Okay. I don't know why it's doing this. This has got to be something again. Like,
I don't get it. Because I look crystal clear. Do I look clear to you guys? I don't know. My internet.
How's your internet?
Fine. My internet's freaking hot as hell right now. So I don't know. I don't know what's going on.
I mean, I'm doing an internet test. I don't know why it always does this and stuff because this is getting frustrating now.
It is frustrating. It is.
Why is my internet downloads hitting over 200?
Wow, that's good. 200?
My upload is hitting over 100.
Oh, no. Okay, 100 up is good. 200 down, that's not good. You want to be at least 400 or 500 down in order to have a clear picture.
200 down is really good. It's not great, but I mean, it's good. And 100 up is awesome.
Pasta, I get 800 to 1,000 down. So 200, you could get better. I promise. Call your internet provider.
Is the upload
I'm
speed.
telling you. Oh, the upload speed should be like at least 10 or higher. But anyways, hopefully, I know Pasta. I know Pasta looks blurry. We're trying to clear it up right now. We don't know what it is. It looks like he went out and maybe he's coming back in. Yeah, no, didn't help. Well, I've got a clip that I want to talk about, Pasta, because he talked about a lot of things other than the Democrats and the things that we always are covering. He talked about 5G and he talked about, of course, the way that they're silencing him by calling him an anti-vaxxer. And so I wanted to bring that clip real fast and maybe we can figure out what's going on.
And Mr. Kennedy, one of the biggest controversies surrounding your candidacy is your stance on childhood vaccines. Nearly every scientific and medical organization, including the CDC, the FDA, the AMA, the American Academy of Pediatrics, all say you're wrong on this issue. This leads us to our very first question from our audience. It's Dr. Tariq Butt, who specializes...
I would ask you one thing. On what issue?
On childhood vaccines.
What about them?
And whether they ever cause autism or damage kids. They all say these vaccines have saved millions of lives.
They never damage kids.
I don't think anybody has said they never have. There might be a child here, but overall, all
a child here and there.
Say vaccines are safe and have saved millions and millions of lives. But let's get to our audience question from Dr. Butts.
Good evening. Eradication of chickenpox and polio from the U.S. and many parts of the world is a direct result of regular vaccines. Measles, mumps, rubella, and many diseases are preventable, and there's little to no evidence of these diseases in vaccinated population. Your vaccine stance is dangerous to the health and well-being of millions. Medical experts are deeply concerned about your message. How can we help you to come to the side of science?
What was the question? How can you? help me come to my senses?
No.
No, no.
Science.
You are a very smart person.
Okay, so I think most people don't know what my stance is on vaccines. I've never been anti-vaccine, and I've said that hundreds and hundreds of times, but it doesn't matter because that is a way of silencing me. Using that pejorative to describe me is a way of silencing or marginalizing me. My position on vaccines, I think, virtually every American would agree with my stance on vaccines, which is that vaccines should be tested like other medicines. They should be safety tested. And unfortunately, vaccines are not safety tested. They're not, of the 72 vaccine doses now mandated, essentially mandated, they're recommended, but they're really mandated for American children. None of them, not one, has ever been subject to a pre-licensing placebo-controlled trial.
Yes, they have.
No.
Yes,
Yeah,
they
they
have.
have.
Yes, they
Okay,
have.
let me just say something. Dr. Fauci and many other people for many years said this, that Bobby Kennedy, when he says that, is wrong. So I met with Dr. Fauci in 2016, and I agreed to go on Trump's Vaccine Safety Commission, and I was with Aaron Siri and Lynn Redwood and a number of other people, and we said to him, can you show us one test from any vaccine, pre-licensing safety test? And he said, I'll send it to you. I can't find one now. He never did. So we sued him. We sued Aaron Siri and I sued HHS. And after a year of litigation and stonewalling, they said that they could not provide a single safety study for any vaccine that is on the childhood schedule, pre-licensing safety study. So,
Okay, I'm going to cut it there because that's a 13-minute clip. But, he asked that question, Pasta. He said, we've eradicated polio and chicken pox in the United States. And I got a note from my best friend, doctor friend, who said that, yeah, we still require that children get the chicken pox vaccine here in the U.S. And in the UK, they do not. The UK has stopped making that one of the priority vaccines. Why? Because it caused an outbreak of shingles. So did we eradicate chickenpox? Yes, we did. But did we increase the instances of shingles for your lifetime? Absolutely. I mean, there's so much in this, but I just love how a news anchor goes, yes, they did. You and I have broke it down so many fucking times that when these entities, the FDA and the NIH, actually do produce some kind of medical study, it's paid for by the same exact pharmaceutical companies that they are protecting. I mean, the FDA does not do its own studies at all. People think they do. They don't. This is insane to me.
All right, Shan, I'm going to jump out and reset my internet again, try to get, because this is way too fuzzy. I don't know.
I know it is
doing
very
that.
fuzzy.
I'm looking very clear on my end over here, but over there, I can't. I don't know what it is. So
okay. Well, then, you don't look that bad on the actual screen. Maybe it's just in studio.
But on my Twitter, I just looked at my Twitter and I'm as fuzzy as can be.
Okay. Jump out, and I've got other stuff we can cover. So just go ahead. We're good. Poor Pasta. I don't know why this always happens. Okay, guys, I want to show you guys the News Nation, which is CNN Light, right? They covered this yesterday, and I want to go show you their website. It's so gross. It's so gross. News Nation, where are you? National Geographic. I got lots of great stories for you guys. Here we go. I think this is it. So, okay, check this out. So they put out their own clips. This is News Nation's website, right? And they break it down. Watch JFK needs a lot of work. He needs a lot of work. Yeah. Now, will Biden engage with RFK Jr.? Questions, some final thoughts. And so these are all the staff writers for CNN Light, also known as News Nation. Let's see. Watch RFK Jr. decline to support the Democratic nominee. So whether he said it or not, that's what the narrative they're going to put out there. Watch RFK Jr. on substance abuse. Now, I can't wait to get to this topic with Pasta because, of course, it's Thursday. To hell and back. That's what we cover. And I loved his answer on the opiate epidemic. Let's see. Did not break through the ceiling. JFK did not break through the ceiling. I wonder why. Maybe the suppression. Gun control. What would what do you guys think of his answer on gun control? Not acceptable for South Carolina. Answer not acceptable for South Carolina voters. Oh, the Moms of Liberty. I thought he had a terrible response on the Moms of Liberty question. All he had to say is, I talk to everybody. That's all he had to say. That's what I would have said. Like, why would I shut them down? And the fact that our Justice Department is deeming mothers a domestic extremist is a fucking problem. That's what I would have pointed out. I'm just saying, I really was not happy with his answer. It was a staffer, right? that didn't play well, and he got caught for it. I kind of hate some of his form answers he's got. Don't trust the experts. Yeah, we've been talking a lot about that. They just want you dumbed down and listening to everything they're saying. RFK Jr. says we have to figure out other ways to curb gun control. I agree. RFK Jr. doubles down on scolding the FDA. Every day I support that. The chatter from our New Hampshire audience. Oh yeah, they've got the audience talking. Let's see. Not that hard to seal the border. I really liked his answer on the border. I did. As somebody who's been down to the border, and this was a big issue for me, especially from 2016 until like 2019. I went to the border. I protest the School of the Americas. This is why I love what Pasta and Fee do so much, because they actually go to the global south and explain to you why this shit is happening. But absolutely, our border is a freaking joke. And when he says we don't have a sovereign nation, I agree. I 100% agree with that. Let's see. A few words of praise for Elizabeth Vargas. Yeah, no, I got no praise for her. I've got no praise for her at all. They plucked her right off of fucking CNN and plopped her right in there. That might as well have been Rachel Maddow or any of them, if you ask me, right? He's an expert reference. We're epic. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Watching RFK on cutting the debt ceiling. Yeah. So that was it. That's what they put out there. Bring my deck back in here. Hopefully Pasta will make it back in. I don't know why we always have the worst tech problems during shows. And it's not, I do great shows every other day of the week. I don't understand. Maybe it's because I'm on one side of the country and he's on the other. I don't know. I have no idea why it's going this way. Oz dropped this one on the deck. Let's just watch it for time.
Find the issue, the values that we have in common, rather than, focus on the issues and the personalities that keep us all apart.
As a lifelong Democrat, as you just said very passionately, will you pledge to support whoever the Democratic nominee is, whoever it is, whether it's you, whether it's President Biden?
Oh, of course I'm not going to do that. I'm not.
Okay, it's the same clip. I didn't realize that was the same clip that Pasta just brought. Did I have any more? I do. I have the where did it go? I want to talk about the opiates, but I'll wait for Pasta to get back. We're going to move on. We'll talk about Biden, and then hopefully when Pasta gets back, we'll go back to RFK Jr.'s town hall. Hi, guys. I just want to say hi to the chat. I haven't got a chance to shout you out this morning. Jilly's here. Jax. Hi, Jax. Jax, I loved your post yesterday, but I'm in jail. I'm not allowed to answer on certain people's posts. Isn't that so fucking weird? I can totally like and comment on some rando's post, but I'm not allowed to talk to my own friends on Twitter. Elon, DARPA boy, you got some explaining to do. Let's see who else is hanging out in here. Rat Angel, you made it. Are you doing the grind? Are you at work? Hello, Bill. Welcome. Who else is in here? Miguel. Hi, Miguel. I saw you hanging out early. Popeye the sailor. Always glad to see you. Dirty Dollars. Hello. How are you? God, you guys know my eyes are so bad. I'm gonna have to just start wearing glasses. It's weird though, because I can't see far away, so I'm like constantly on and off with them. Fred Edwards is in the house. So is Barbara. Hi, Barbara. Anthony, we got double Anthony in the house. That you guys are right next to each other too in the chat. Double twins there. This is just over on the YouTubes. Of course, we are up on Kill Your Egos. Yeah, kill it. Kill those egos for sure. We are up on Twitter, Rokfin, Rumble, YouTube, and somewhere else. I don't know, Twitch maybe. Good morning, Rokfin. I see Amber's hanging out. Great show yesterday, Amber. Oh, good. I'm so glad. DC's in the house. Hi, DC. You had me cracking up on something you were doing yesterday. Yesterday was a great day. I just followed Pasta around all freaking day with the chat, going from show to show, right? But I gotta say, my favorite one of the day was what was it? Pasta and cheese. They had a great breakdown of the pizza oven ban in New York. Of course, everybody's been covering that. If you have hung out with our crowd and our little clique for a long time, you know that we've had an ongoing pizza war between Heartland's Media and the Convo Couch. Of course, Convo Couch is New Yorkers. They like the thin slices. And Kit, he's a deep dish Chicago boy, right? And so the pizza wars have always been ongoing. I think it's time that we need to have some peace in the pizza wars. And I think that this is a good uniting rally cry to bring all pizza lovers together. So I've got a special thing on the deck. Hopefully when Pasta comes back, they dug up a house from 2,000 years ago. And guess what? They found a picture of a pizza. I'm not even kidding. They want to say pizza's not that old, but pizza is that old, and we'll go there. I got a story about National Geographic. If you love National Geographic, you better go pick up the last few copies because you're not going to be able to buy it on the newsstands any longer, and they fired all their writers. So it seems like the end of 135 era. Up there's Pasta. And he's back, and you're still cloudy. What the fuck?
Why?
No, that's a little better. That's a little better. No, it is better. It is better.
But why is it so cloudy?
No, you're better. You're better. Doesn't he look better, guys? I think he looks better.
No,
yeah,
I can see your face. As hell on this screen.
Oh no, I can see your face so much clearer.
Is there another area we can go into other than the settings right here? Or
no, you got to go into that little gear, and then you've got the choice on general of 720, 30 frames per second.
Yeah, I got that. It's just,
you know, what it comes down to is upgrading. I'm probably going to have to upgrade to the $500 a month package so I can clear you up. I don't know. I don't know. I apologize, though. You're the only one it does it with. I don't get it. Is it because you're across the country? I don't know. Pasta looks better. They're all saying you look better. Better. Everybody's saying better. So yes, you're better. You are better. Okay. I kind of moved ahead. We were talking about Biden, and I was saying hi to the chat, but let's finish up with Bobby. I thought I had the one where he's talking about opiates. What did I do with that one? What else did you bring?
The good friend Bill O'Reilly talking shit about RFK, and I just kind of want to point it out, like some of these dinosaur mainstream media guys, and why it's so important to donate to my fundraiser, because you got to get us on the ground. And like I said, this is not just about me. This is about Roar Media, Heartlands Media, RBN, Convo Couch, all the small guys, Jimmy Dore, the big guys, Kim Iverson. I plan to go on the ground and cover that campaign. I plan on taking a camera guy with me. I plan on streaming from wherever I'm at. I'm planning on asking the hard questions. Yes, I'm going to concentrate on RFK. But then, while he has days off and I'm in the area, if there's a Vivek Ramaswamy around the corner or a Tim Scott, I plan to go over there. If there's a Marianne Williamson, if she's still around, I plan to go over there. Cornel West has said I have an open door to his campaign wherever he's at on the road. So I'm going to take full advantage of it. I'm going to even start another YouTube channel called The Campaign for the Campaigns. And I just want everybody who's capable to put me in a position to do what the Convo Couch has been doing and to do it at a better level this year. And like I said, all those people that I mentioned, I'm not charging any of those, but anybody's like The Hill. If The Hill wants my correspondence, they're going to have to pay.
Hell yeah.
If Press TV wants my correspondence, they're going to have to pay. If RT wants my correspondence, they're going to have to pay. But the fam, the independent media people who've been bringing it to you guys the way it's been, the truth tellers, my friends, my fam, I'm going to make sure I plug in with them, and we're going to make this happen. And we need your help to make it happen. I hate to ask for money, and I need to raise about $200 a day is what I'm looking at, because this is like on the road, hotels, camera guys, streaming, money. I have to pay people. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to do my best to get in there. I want to set up like, you know how MSNBC and CNN set up at these events with their little booths? I'm going to have like tables and chairs and stuff to set up and, you know, lavaliers and build little sets at these events.
I
to make
wish
it as
I was
real as
with you
possible.
because I'm good at tabling. I'm great at tabling.
Can I share my
Yeah, go ahead and share. I'm trying to get this it won't let me share it, so I'm just gonna have to share it from YouTube. I want to talk about his response on opiates. Here we go. There you are. You have
there
control.
it is, guys. It is and I put the let me put the links in the chat, guys. It's very simple.
Please do.
It's givesendgo.com/RFK media, and that is capital RFK, and media is all lowercase. But please, anything you guys can do to help, I'm going to put them in the chats right now. If you can give $2, $5, I can see a lot of my old school peeps are hanging on out, like Fred Edwards. I love you, buddy. I'll give you a call. We have to talk about something. But they're all going in the chat right now, guys. I think I got them all.
Perfect.
And yeah, that's that. If you can do anything to help, man, we just opened this yesterday and it's already got $400. Let's keep it rolling. And I'm going to go to work for you guys. You guys are the producers of this, and we're going to make this happen, Captain.
For sure. And I'm so, Pasta. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to turn that on. We so need to support independent media. That's what I'm saying. Everybody gave money to Bernie in 2016 and 2020. I please don't give money to candidates, guys. Just don't. They got donors. They've got, we know how it works. Give to the independent media because they're the ones that are going to get out there and ask the questions and get you the answers for the things that you are wondering about. It's not going to be News Nation or whatever. It's not going to be these channels that are going to give you that, So what you got here, Pasta?
Listen, if you don't put me in play, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't support independent
we got to
media,
put Pasta in play.
You're gonna have to deal with these assholes, these dinosaurs that don't go away, and just the smugness of. I gotta say this much: like I'm gonna write to Chris Cuomo and try to reach out to him because he seemed a little bit different yesterday, a little bit better than normal. I mean, I've been so hard on that guy. Forget about it, right? And I'd love to have a conversation with him moving forward. I don't agree with a lot of stuff he says, but he seems so a little bit different. Like I think he's taking his little ass whipping in it a little bit. And I'm not crazy about him. I'm not crazy about his brother. His brother is the older brother, so he's supposed to be Fredo, but they call him Fredo. I'm not going to use that terminology to this guy. I love this guy's father. I love Daddy Cuomo, Mario Cuomo. You know what I'm saying? And, back in the days, and I get there's a lot of faults with them and whatnot, but, he's changed. But most of the mainstream media guys haven't. He ended up a News Nation, but so did Bill O'Reilly. And a lot of people follow Bill O'Reilly. And remember when Bill O'Reilly first, when Donald Trump went out there and started talking again, his first time out of not being the president, removed from the presidency. And a lot of people expected him to come around and say, this is wrong for me to push it. Operation Warp Speed was dumb. No, they doubled down. And a lot of his rhetoric, Bill O'Reilly, is still in that arena. So I'm going to play this real here and quick, but just take a look at the smugness. Chanda.
National perspective as we can. So we'll have people watching in Charleston, South Carolina, and Manchester, New Hampshire. Okay, so nice cross section there. The town hall starts immediately after my show, 9 p.m. Eastern, and it's going to be a long one. So you'll get a lot of different of the cross section issues that seem to matter most to people, and it'll be a big test for Kennedy. Plus, immediately following the town hall, we'll be back for extended coverage of how the town hall went and your responses to it, okay? We've got a lot to unpack even before the town hall, so what do you say? Let's get after it. Bill O'Reilly is here. He's going to talk town hall, expectations, pitfalls, and Trump woes, especially this audio tape. And he has a very interesting take on how to deal with addiction. And I have never disagreed with Big Brother Bill more about anything that he's ever said than this. Listen to both sides, and I want you to call in. 844-968-7720. Although I don't have to ask you, you're going to want to. All right, then, News Nation's political editor, Chris Stirewalt. He's going to lay out the stakes on the Democratic side of the ball. Plus, we're going to speak to voters who are actually in the audience tonight first to see why they're there. Okay, what are their expectations? And then we'll go to them afterwards to see if those expectations were met. Okay, now, Mr. Kennedy, as you may know, has supporters and critics. They too will join us for pre and post game commentary. All right, so let's start the show. We got Bill O'Reilly here to handicap the impact of the Trump tapes and the big RFK Jr. town hall. Good to have you, Mr. O'Reilly. Always a pleasure. Let's start with the town hall. Polls could be looked at a couple of different ways, but he does have a lot of interesting support among Republicans. What's that about?
Anti-vax. That's his whole support line. Wrote a bestseller on it. Vaccines are going to kill you and turn you into a zombie or whatever it is. Kennedy's support is almost 100% people who don't trust the vaccine, the federal government, the CDC, and they like Kennedy's destruction of the above.
You know, it's interesting. I have a guy on tonight who wrote a book and is a very good friend of Bobby Jr. And he says this anti-vaxxer rap is not fair. He's not anti-vaccine. It's about testing, you know, and it seems to be a marginalizing of the fervor that you're talking about. You think this is about trying to have it both ways?
No, he didn't read Kennedy's book. I mean, if you read Kennedy's book, Kennedy wrote the book. And he's anti-vax. He doesn't believe in that these vaccines help people. He thinks big pharma is a conspiracy situation, and they're marketing stuff to make money. And there's a lot of Americans who believe that, and they are supporting RFK. That's what his support base is all about at this point, because he doesn't articulate much else other than he's kind of soft on Putin, which is a huge mistake he's making there. He blaming the United States for and all of that stuff. I fact checked him on the No Spin News yesterday because he was throwing out the Minsk agreement, M-I-N-S-K. And, the day before Putin invaded, he said, Minsk agreement doesn't exist. Boom, I'm sending my tanks in. So Kennedy was basically saying the United States goaded him and NATO goaded Putin into Ukraine. So this stuff is pretty far out, which is why members of his own family don't support him. And certainly the Democratic establishment doesn't support him. He doesn't have much of a chance unless he lights it up on News Nation tonight, and he might. I certainly would give him a hearing. But right now, he's a conspiracy kind of guy.
What does he have to do to make it a race?
I think he's got to go into microeconomics. That's Biden's big deficit. 2 polls out today, AP and another one that say 3/4 of the American people are getting hammered by the economy, spending way too much money on the things they need. This is according to the people themselves. And that's a huge thing. And you mentioned that
Illinois voters and the country at large.
I got to tell you, Pasta, I feel stupider for watching that.
I
just got to say.
The anti-facts, the conspiracy line, and this is that doesn't bother me as much. That sounded like a shit lib, right? Like, and the fact is, like, he didn't read his book. No, this book, the real Anthony Fauci, is concentrating on industry, captured agencies, and it's concentrating on the COVID vaccine and how that came to fruition. And it's concentrating on Dr. Fauci and his history tied to Big Pharma, tied to the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. So I don't know if Bill has read the book, first of all. Secondly,
probably not.
He says that RFK, that's all his support, and he doesn't articulate things well. That's not true. RFK is picking up a lot of support because he seems to have the best foreign policy. I don't want to go as far to say he's the best anti-imperialist because his issues on Israel, people would kind of
Palestine
back
suck.
on that, right?
Yeah.
But, they suck. But
Zionist
everywhere else, he
kisser.
seems to be pretty good. And he doesn't even he's not even as soft on Putin as I am, because I believe that Putin had no choice. That's why I asked Cornel West that question. What choice did Putin have at this situation? And how he's just kind of throws these stupid things out there. Like the Minsk Accord the day before were out the window. Well, they tried to work Minsk 1 and 2 for 8 years, Bill O'Reilly. So maybe you should get up to speed with that before you make a stupid comment. So saying that you're going to give him a hearing and if he can light it up, we'll see, while you're acting just so aggravating. Like, it's just a pain in the ass to talk about this guy. Like, he's just a conspiracy theory, and 100% of his support comes from that. No, a big support does come from that, but there's a lot of other areas in which people like RFK, and they're starting to learn about him. That
5G was a big one for my viewers.
Right? So, I mean, there's more to it, but the fact is that we still have media out like this, that when they start this other channel, News Nation, they're spinning off these
I just looked it up. They're owned by News Star Corp, which owns hundreds of independent media, ABC, Fox channels from coast to coast in this fucking country. So don't think they're the 5th largest media company in the country.
Yeah. So, I mean, I just wanted to bring that to the table to show that's still out there, the aggravation. Guys like Bill O'Reilly. Hey, Bill, how can we miss you if you don't go away? Do us a favor, go away. I would much rather have a conversation with Chris Cuomo.
Go away, Matt. Just go away.
Just go away. How can we miss you if you don't go away? Just go away. And that's why I'm saying, like, you know, when I saw that Newsmax was covering one of his other events, News Nation was covering this one. Like, Newsmax was one of the only ones to cover his speech. Yeah. And I was supposed to go there, but I had a death in the family, so I was in New York, and I was at a funeral that day.
Remember that.
But that's why I want to get in play, and I want to put us in play, not just for this guy, but for everybody. And I understand there's a lot of people who still don't have faith in elections and understand the system is captured, and I'm agreeing with you. But
that's where I'm at. Okay, it's interesting. People are talking about this. I'm glad he's bringing the conversation to the forefront on so many of these issues. But at the end of the day, he's running inside the Democratic Party, who's just refusing to hold an actual fucking primary. And if they did, it wouldn't be a legit one. I mean, I have no hope for this election, but of course I will promote the things that I agree with that he is saying. And this clip that I just grabbed is one of those. Pasta, you and I always talk addiction. Of course, I am a recovering opiate addict. And I don't think if I would have experienced Big Pharma trying to kill me 10 years ago, that I probably would have fell for it. But because I was like, I didn't trust them because I trusted them years ago. And so I like that he's talking about it. I didn't hear Cornell talking about it. So I want to, Bill alluded to this, but he didn't ask him the question.
As we're leading into this, though, this is the value that it brings. The conversation, the political, knowledge that he's bringing, the discourse that he's bringing. You're right. Nobody talks about SSRIs. Not one candidate has ever mentioned it. Kennedy drew a direct link between mass shootings of children and SSRIs. And that's important. And if we can raise our political discourse, this is the important parts, Chanda, and we have every right to hold him accountable where he's weak on Israel. We have every right to say we're not going to donate into a fixed system. But these conversations are so important. And here's the last thing I got to say before we play the video. We have to deal with the playing field we're dealt with, Chanda. Unfortunately, people only get involved. The majority of the normies out there, the mass movement of people, only get involved every 4 years when it comes to politics. So we use these campaigns with their football mentality to get in other issues and talk about that and raise the political awareness, because everybody's comatose when it comes to the social issues, the economic issues, and this is an opportunity for us. And the opportunity with RFK is, unlike Cornel West, who says he wants to go into those Trump areas, he hasn't displayed that he can speak across the board the way RFK is now right now.
No, you're absolutely 100% correct on that. I agree. Oh, hold on. I got it muted.
People died from fentanyl overdoses. That leads us to our next question. Felicia is an addiction counselor. She lost her son 10 years ago to addiction. Felicia, hi. What's your question tonight?
We are losing the war on drugs. What policies or ideas do you have that would change that? What's your platform on substance use and overdose? We need help desperately.
Yeah, and I have my own history of addiction. So I was an addict for 14 years, between starting one after my dad died till I was 28 years old, and I'm very active in recovery. I go to probably 9 meetings a week, and I spend a lot of my time thinking about it and seeing what works. And I take many people over my 40 years working these programs. I've taken hundreds and hundreds of people into different forms of recovery. And I have a very good idea of what works and a vision for what we need to do in this country. And we need to make addiction treatment easy, simple, cheap. a lot of the industry has devolved because of a variety of factors into almost a predatory industry.
It
a
is.
lot of the addiction treatment industry. And I've seen how it works in other countries. I've seen this beautiful model that they have in Italy called San Patrignano, where there are 2,000 kids who work on a large farm in a healing center, and they grow.
It's a beautiful model.
It's good, and that's what we need to build here. And you know what I would do as president is I would decriminalize marijuana. I will make safe banking laws for people who are selling it, but I will tax it federally, and I will use that money to build these healing centers in rural areas, depressed rural areas all over the country, where kids can grow organic food and eat good, eat well, heal themselves spiritually, physically, and emotionally.
Okay, so I liked his comment on microdosing too. Pasta, we talk about the predatory nature of treatment facilities constantly, and I'm glad he brought it up.
Right, he brought it up. What other candidates that? Like he's gonna legalize marijuana federally. He's gonna make sure that there's safe banking laws. He's gonna use that money where they can grow their own healthy food too as well, Shanda. Yeah. There's no freaking candidate out there who's talking about that the way it is. I mean, this is something that we've talked about for so long, and he's talking about it. So even if he is not going to win because he's in the Democratic Party, or even if he is shitty on Israel, these talking points are important because when he starts repeating them and people are watching him, then they start repeating that, and they start looking into things, and they start saying, what's SSRIs? You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah,
these
they don't
are
even
important
know.
conversations that we're not having if it wasn't for RFK.
Right. So if you want to know what an SSRI is, go back and watch some of the old episodes of To Hell and Back. Pasta and I spent 2 years breaking down the predatory big pharmaceutical companies, industries. We have deep dived into, we've taken individuals, benzoids, broken them down, SSRIs, broken them down. We've done a lot of work over this over the last couple of years, and it is refreshing to see at least some candidate talking about it because it is the number one killer of our kids right now. It absolutely is, and fentanyl is so fucking dangerous. And, you know, people just like, they get it so miscued, right? The Republicans are like, fentanyl's killing our kids. Yes, it is. But it's coming through the border and it's China, right? We're not actually talking about the fact that it can be, and it is, manufactured here in the United States. It's like crank. You can make it in a fucking bathtub. And so we got to get rid of these stupid talking points of, you know, China, and, you know, Mexico, because it's not all coming from there. Yeah, a good portion of it is, but because it's easy right now, right? They've made it, the Biden administration has made it a little easy, I think. And let's talk about the corrupt 3-letter agencies, the DEA. Come on, Bobby, I want to hear what you have to say and think about the DEA, because there's a lot of corruption there, and there has been for a long time. So that's a question I want to see you pose to him.
He has always been kept his eye on the prize when it comes to the CIA and kind of labeled them and pointed them out. Which yesterday when he talked about the cartels and what they're doing as far as human smuggling, and I would assume that would be a business for the cartel they don't have to deal with the CIA. Like they can do that on their own. That would be their side gig. But as far as them moving around their drugs and bringing it into the States and whatnot, they're very dependent on the CIA. The cartels are tied there. So when this whole fentanyl issue has been talked about, you know what I'm saying? And I guess they can smuggle it on in. But when it comes to drugs, that's the CIA's business. So I don't know if it's just like the CIA is just dealing with cocaine.
Right, that's true.
As letting the cartels do the fentanyl.
Oh, come on. They go where the money is. Where's the money? The money's in fentanyl right now. So they go where the money is. It's that easy. DC with the Super Ray, decriminalization is not legalization, for fuck's sakes. Robert F. Kennedy doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. He was anti-cannabis just a couple of years ago. I don't trust his bullshit campaign rhetoric. Yeah. Here's for a good thing and against bad things. I've heard it all before. Yes, we have heard it all before.
Okay,
DC.
But DC, my good friend, when we start talking about this and we have a person who's being followed and supported by a lot of people in the country, and they go along with it, then we start repeating that rhetoric. It all comes back to us, how we are politically motivated to up and raise our discourse, and that's what's going on here. I get you, because he was against marijuana for years and stuff, you know, and a lot of people are like that, but they can come around, they can change. And I'm sorry, he's got a history in his family of getting killed for pushing back against strong powers. So unfortunately, he's got that going for him. And like I said, it's not about getting him across the finish line. The finish line for me is
there
getting
is
him
no
to the
finish
convention.
line. Yeah.
Getting him to the convention and getting him thrown out and him not acclimating to the main party. And even
Oh
if he
my
does
God.
acclimate,
Remember when we thought Bernie was going to contest the convention? And oh my gosh, I can't even believe we fell for that shit. I fell for that shit hard. He did. He bent the knee. And will Bobby do it again? Yes, because he doesn't want to destroy his party. He says, I want my party back, right? Yeah. I don't see him destroying the party in order to fix things. And that just, I think it's platitudes when he says, oh, I'm not going to support the Democratic nominee. Yes, he will.
There's
Ronnie Graham, Super
Ray.
Ray. Remember how convincing Bernie and Corbyn were in their speeches? Neither followed through. Both were weak. RFK Jr.'s presses left and right buttons, but don't be fooled by the speeches. I agree, Ronnie. That's what I was just saying. We bought into it with Bernie. I'm not buying into it. But I got to tell you, Pasta, it's hard. Like when I watched him yesterday hitting it home and hitting these points, I wanted to be that girl from 2016 cheering for her candidate and getting out there. But I know better. It hurts. I want to be.
I think it's because I think everybody defines what winning is and what the goal is. If they kind of just concentrate on getting this language out there, there are so many things that RFK is talking about that Bernie Sanders, Tulsi Gabbard didn't touch the surface of. Talking about these SSRIs yesterday and how that's connected to mass shootings, things like these. These conversations are so important and nobody's having them. So we should be happy and blessed. And besides, do we want Biden to just steamroll through the whole thing without somebody nipping at his ass?
That's what they want.
Holding the DNC's feet to the fire. There's more good than bad with the situation. Yes, at the end of the day, don't be fooled. And like I said, I'm not telling you to don't donate, and I'm not telling you to have a pipe dream to think he's going to hold the White House, but he should go through the motions and he should try everything possible. Maybe he goes. People aren't realizing that Bernie Sanders acquiesced. He suspended the rules, and by acclamation, he gave
his
it
delegates
to
away.
Hillary Clinton. That's what
I know. I
made the
was
DNC
one of
lawsuit.
them. I just got given away.
Yes, if RFK is different, so be it. He wasn't tied. Bernie Sanders wasn't tied to that lawsuit. Maybe
but remember, Bernie called himself an independent, and Bobby doesn't. So we got a Super Ray here. Let's check it out. Or Super Chat. Related question: if CBDCs is coming out next week, then how do we buy our weed? Somebody said to me this morning, "Oh, it's only a matter of time before they put expiration dates on money," and I said, "Yeah, it's already coming. It's called CBDCs." Yeah. And they're already like that. Go ahead and try to use a government issued card at an ATM in a marijuana establishment, even if it's Social Security. They're called the sin nose. And no, it's a place of sin. So you're not allowed to use your card there. You'll have to go over to the federally owned bank and give the government back your money, that type of shit. I see it all the time. So, and as somebody who used to manage a marijuana shop in Washington State, I would love to see federal access to fucking banking for all of these companies. I used to have to literally drive 200 miles with $20,000, $30,000 on me in order to get it into a bank. Pasta. I would have to take a ferry ride. I'd be scared to death. The cops were all Republicans, like, haha, see how fast we respond to you if there's a problem, how dare you sell marijuana in our town? I mean, it was insane. So yeah, there's problems all over the country with it. We legalized, but we didn't allow people a way to bank with it. What you got now? I see you brought something else in.
No, that was just whenever you're ready to show my
okay. Well, I got one more. I got like two more things I want to cover with you. Of course, I want to talk Biden and his bullshit slip yesterday with his Iraq war. Putin's losing the Iraq war. And then I got a couple of just small short articles.
Isn't there a stark difference between listening to goddamn Biden speak or Trump speak and then listen to RFK speak? Yes. It's got to be a breath of fresh air.
Even with his gravelly, hard voice. Level. Yeah, no, for sure. Okay, so this was, yesterday morning, I think?
To what extent has Vladimir Putin been weakened by recent events? It's hard to tell, but he's clearly losing the war in Iraq. He's losing the war at home. And he has become a bit of a pariah around the world. It's not just NATO. It's not just the European Union. It's Japan. It's 40 nations.
Okay, so a lot of people were pointing out that his face in that video has a line from what looks like an oxygen mask, but I think the White House is trying to say it's a CPAP machine. Is he on oxygen when he's on his downtime? And was that a Freudian slip or
No.
like Bush? You know, Bush
That
did a
dude
Freudian slip.
that guy freaking can't hold his own bowels, let his own mindset right now. I mean, that dude is just, I mean, how long are people going to be fooled by this? The fact that they're running him again, right?
I know, and
it's just
pretending like he's healthy and there, and
they're just throwing it in your face now.
it's cognitive dissonance, seriously. So here's another short clip.
Putin may circle Kyiv with tanks, but he'll never gain the hearts and souls of the Iranian people. Whether or not they're pulling back from Fallujah and from the Kherson. You know, we're dealing with it for a whole second. Inflation is a worldwide problem right now.
Yeah,
because of
caused
a
by
war in
you.
Iraq and the impact on oil and what Russia's doing.
To what extent has Vladimir Putin been weakened by recent events? It's hard to tell, but he's clearly losing the war in Iraq. He's losing the war at home.
That is so gross. Just like, and they're trying to convince us that he is healthy and he can do another 4 more. And Pasta, we still got a year to go. So that's 5 more years of this man.
I can't do 5 more minutes of this man. And I think he's still got Iraq stuck in his head because he was the senator on the floor that was really pushing for people behind George Bush and in the Wolfowitz doctrine, their war. And he pushed a lot of Democrats to go and stand behind George Bush and get involved in that war. I mean, so that's why it's probably still stuck in his head. But did you see the Johnny Carson clip?
No.
Oh, let me pull it up real quick.
Okay, you pull it up real fast. I'll put this meme up. Of course, the Bidenomics and the American people. Oh yeah, we got the gag ball in our mouth. And
Bidenomics really would. Oh.
No, that's his new thing. They introduced it yesterday.
It's disgusting. It's disgusting.
It's so gross. Yeah, it's so gross. Bidenomics. I'm on the Bidenomics diet and I've lost 12 pounds. It's so food. That's no joke. I really am. So let's see. Strikebreaker Joe gets endorsed by the AFL-CIO. Yeah. Are we shocked? No, not at all.
This is great here because this is Johnny Carson in 1987 doing a joke about Joe Biden.
No way. On the political scene, one of the Democratic candidates is Senator Joseph Biden. Have you seen the problem he's been having? He went around and made a speech. And apparently, he quoted I think it was a British politician, took his speech and kind of paraphrased it as his own. And then the press got on him. And then he was charged also with taking part of Bobby Kennedy's speeches. And Biden says, not to worry. He reassured his staff. He said, we have nothing to fear but fear itself.
Ugh. That is so gross, Pasta. That
is
so gross.
Plagiarizing for so long, right? Fallujah, Ukraine.
He had to get out of the 88 election for lying, right?
Yeah.
Was it the 88 election? I believe it was. He got caught lying.
He had to step down for plagiarizing, for lying,
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I mean, it's I don't know. I'm kind of stuck. I'm a little quagmire here. Where are the people at that they can continue to push this guy and they really block? Does anyone in this fucking chat, excuse my French for cursing, really believe that he got 81 million votes, guys? I mean, come on.
Yes, from what, like 26 counties. Roseanne Barr did a great burn on this the other day. He got 81 million votes from 36 counties. Yeah, you can't question that. And I love the Dana Carvey clip of him burning Fauci down the other day. I'm gonna bring that tomorrow. I know you and Kit watched that this morning, but yeah, I mean, I love that we do have a candidate out there that is allowing us to get these questions out, to get this information out on the forefront. Can you imagine if we didn't have an anti-mandate, anti-vaccine candidate in the race right now? You wouldn't even be allowed to discuss it, right?
Yeah. And they're still taking people down. Megan Fox, I believe her name is. She has close to 20,000 subscribers on YouTube. They demonetized her the other day. She was in tears. She was in tears.
Censorship has been so bad this week, Pasta. I'm in jail on Twitter right now, and I don't even know for fucking what. It just said I spam people, and I was like, that's funny. I don't spam, but that's what it is. This has been sitting on the deck for a couple of weeks, and I want to talk to you about it. So the Taliban successfully banned opium, and the United States Institute for Peace says it's bad. It's bad for Afghans and for the world. Are you shocked, Pasta?
Nope, not at all.
Not at all. So the Taliban has done it again, and we saw this. You and I have talked about the opium wars in depth. Opium wars 1, 2. There was many different opium wars over the years, and that's the first thing they did was try to ban it, right? But then the British just came in even harder with even more opium, and that didn't go over too well. But the United States Institute of Peace, there you go. Now I got one more clip for you. I got this from friend to the show, Jamie Deluxe Nation, and of course he's done a great job of calling Fauci out. I mean, some of the information that Jamie Deluxe has got out, he was the very first, especially with AZT. And
Can you send over that video to me that has the graveyards in New York that Jamie Deluxe did? Because I'm going to be talking about that with the boys tonight and do Dissonance when I'm on there later on at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Okay. I'll find it for you. I'm sure it's not up on YouTube, but I definitely know it's up on his Rokfin. Okay, so check this out. I can't upload full videos until I'm back. Of course, he's banned too. Crazy thing. We all took hits at the same time. But this is a bunch of graduating doctors, and this is the oath that they took. This happened this weekend.
For the first time in VPNS history, an oath has been written by the entering class to take at the white coat ceremony. The writing for this oath was facilitated by upper class students and faculty, and the oath is found at your seat in your program. The class wrote the oath to reflect the values they wish to uphold as they enter their medical training, and I'm thinking of the words of our speaker today. They invite all physicians in attendance to join them in the recitation of the oath if they so choose. Class, please stand. In our profession, it is a custom established more than 2,000 years ago to articulate and commit to our guiding values, influenced by both the past and present, before accepting the privilege of caring for our fellow humans as students of medicine. Please join me. We enter the profession of medicine with appreciation for the opportunity to build on the scientific and humanistic achievements of the past. We also recognize the acts and systems of oppression affected in the name of medicine. We take this oath of service to begin building a future grounded in truth, restoration, and equity to fulfill medicine's capacity to liberate. I make this pledge to myself, my classmates, and future colleagues, and the individuals and communities I will serve. I acknowledge that my role is to inform my patients, accompanying them in moments of wellness and vulnerability, and respect their privacy and autonomy while empowering them to flourish. I promise to take care of my future patients by engaging in dialogue, listening to their lived experience, and tailoring my recommendations to their unique circumstances. I commit to honor the relationship formed between patient and physician by maintaining confidentiality at all times. I vow to contribute to the field of medicine through ethical study and equitable evidence-based care, and to treat my patients and represent my profession with compassion, humility.
So I love how they put your bodily autonomy in there. They're going to respect your autonomy, because I've seen nobody respecting bodily autonomy in the last 5 years, Pasta. Nobody.
Yeah.
Still with me?
Yeah. I'm just, once again, it's ridiculously blurry again.
I know. I'm sorry.
I can't even see. Yeah. I can't.
I don't know why it does that. I mean, I'm clear, so I don't know what is going on here. It's not my internet speed, I don't think. I'm checking it. So did you hear Epstein killed himself?
Yeah, I did.
yeah. Did you buy that? Did you believe it?
No.
Okay, so I got one story I want to share, and then I'll let you out of here because I know you can't handle it when you're unclear. Let's talk about the pizza wars. So Pompeii, they dug up 200 or 2,000-year-old residency, and they found this picture, this mural on the wall. Pasta, you see that pizza right there? That's a pizza. That is a pizza. It doesn't have the same exact things that we put on pizza, but it is a pizza. So it kind of blows the whole theory of how old pizza is out of the water.
Yeah. That the Chinese didn't invent it and everything, huh?
The Chinese didn't invent it. I gotta say, no, I don't think so. They found it in Pompeii. That's not Chinese. So I will let you out of here. I'm sorry it's so cloudy today.
It's all right. We'll figure it out. I'll see you guys later, guys. Thank you so much for your help. You know, the Give Send Go RFK Media. We love you. I love you, Chanda, and I'll speak to you soon.
Hit the Give Send Go, guys. Help Pasta out. Get them on the street. We need them out there.
Nice.
Okay, guys, I still have a few stories. I just feel bad, though, that Pasta was so blurry. It really does. When you're here and you're trying to get information out and your text messed up, it just completely floors you. You don't, you're preoccupied. So I'm so sorry about that, Pasta. You know what? I'm going to bring this full pizza article in so we can look at it, because I found some interesting stuff in that one. Let's see. Pompeii discovers pizza. Okay, here we go. I got the full article here. So while it looks like pizza, this image from a Pompeii painting from 2,000 years ago is obviously can't be. It can't be because it doesn't have the same characteristics, or some of the things that we put on pizza are missing, namely tomatoes and mozzarella. However, it shows the first iconic analysis of a still life fresco with emerging parts from this new excavation. This was in Pompeii. They found this site in the 1800s. They started excavating it in 2017, but they date this house back to 79 CE. Isn't that crazy? It was buried in 79 CE. And so, yeah, I mean, everything that we've been told, that's a clearer picture right there. Everything we've been told about where things come from, I don't buy into that. I think they've been eating the same thing for a long, long time, right? As long as we've had flour, we've learned how to flatten it down on some bread, or flatten it down dough-wise and throw it in an oven. So let's end the pizza wars. Let's come together and fight for New York's right to continue to have pizza, because it ain't going to stop climate change, right? If you didn't watch, what was it, Cheese and Pasta yesterday, go check it out. They had a great in-depth, rundown of this. I got a couple more stories for you. Let's see what we got here. This one I thought was crazy, guys. National Geographic lays off its last remaining staff writers. So the magazine, which remains among the most read in the U.S., has struggled in the digital era to commit the kind of resources that are fuel the deep reporting it's been known, which it's been known for. And so basically what they've done is, let me find the article. They are, okay, here it is. They are laying off all the staff writers. So 135 years reaches another difficult passage when it laid off the remaining staff writers. The cutbacks, the last in a series under Walt Disney Company. So Walt Disney owns National Geographic, and involved some 19 editors. So they let go 19 of their editors and staff. I'm sure they don't have that huge of a staff pool, but they were the second over the past 9 months. So they already did another layoff series just before this. They removed the 6 top editors. Oh my gosh. What's it going to be like? And then the other thing, and furthermore, they're cutting costs. In a further cost-cutting move, copies of its famous bright yellow border printed publication will no longer be sold on newsstands in the United States starting next year. That just makes me sad, right? We all grew up with it. We all grew up with National Geographic. I mean, I haven't gone back and looked at it in a long time, and I don't know what kind of narrative they carry any longer, right? But that was kind of one of our go-tos as kids for information, I think, anyways. We had a bunch of stuff we kind of skipped over. I'm trying to see. Let's check out this clip of Biden.
According to our last poll, 54 to 36% say Donald Trump did a better job handling the economy when he was president than Biden has done so far. You aren't announcing anything new necessarily this week. You are just, sort of highlighting and touting what you've done. Is that enough?
Well, what I would say to you is look at where we were when we came into office, when after 4 years of Donald Trump.
Look at where we were when we came into office, when after 4 years of Donald Trump.
And here we go.
I get up in the morning and look at Jill and say, where the hell are we?
$5 a gallon. That's the average price of gas across the United States right now. AAA reports it is the first time gas prices have ever been this high.
America is back.
Just into the newsroom this morning, numbers from the federal government showing U.S. inflation reaching a 40-year high in June, up more than 9% from a year ago. That is the biggest 12-month increase since 1981.
Look at where we were when we came into office, when after 4 years of Donald Trump.
That's right. Trump had
You're a
record
lying
highs.
dog-faced pony soldier.
Yeah.
And if you don't want tough numbers, turn away or mute the TV. Here we go. All right, this is, as you know, the worst first half to a year for the S&P 500 since Ally McGraw and Ryan O'Neal starred in Love Story, 1970. We fell 20.5% this year. And this year, the S&P 500 has lost more than $8 trillion in market cap.
It gets worse.
50% of Americans say they are worse off now than they were a year ago. The only other time that half of Americans felt worse off came during the Great Recession in 2008 and 2009.
Tough news this afternoon for President Joe Biden from inside his own party. 75% of Democrats say they want someone other than Biden to get the 2024 nomination.
Oh, shit.
75%. It's more like 74% last I heard, but I've heard 70% or higher don't want Biden, but yet they're telling us that that's who the Democratic Party wants. We are all suffering. I used to go from living paycheck to paycheck or month to month, right? No, now I live day to day. I have been in survival mode for the last couple of fucking months, and it sucks. I haven't been through this in many, many years. And I know if I'm feeling it and I'm hurting, so many others are out there feeling it and hurting too. And I feel like we're cornered, right? Where can you go? Where can you go to get, Walmart's a freaking joke. We literally have two stores in our town. We have a Walmart and a Safeway. Safeway is overpriced but has better quality. When you're pinching pennies because gas is $5 a gallon, where do you go to shop? I'm suggesting you start hitting the farmers markets. Everything is coming into season. So much is coming into season now. Get out there and buy from local growers. You'll get good deals. I know a lot of the local farmer markets are now set up to take SNAP or EBT benefits, food stamps. You could probably stretch your dollar a little more there. And because they cut food stamps 3 months ago, people are seriously hurting and hungry. Please give to your local food banks. There's always food bank drives going on. I saw a peanut butter drive going on at my local Walmart the other day when I walked in. There was some ladies out front, please donate peanut butter. They have tuna fish drives. Winco, I know our nearest Winco is 100 miles. Believe me, I wish I could go to Winco. But give to the food banks. I have been a food bank Patreon for my whole entire life. But, especially when I had kids and I was raising kids and I was on minimum wage and I didn't qualify for food stamps because I made too much, but I didn't make enough. You guys know that little hole that everybody gets stuck in. And the food banks, the amount of people going to food banks has increased so much in the last 2 years. It is mind blowing. You literally have to get in line about 2 hours early at my local food bank, and they're open 3 times a week. And that's how many people are hungry and suffering. And when I sit in that line, and I'm not judging, but I'm noticing that the cars in front of me are nice. They're BMWs. They're nice Land, Rovers. These are people who at one point had money, but now they're probably living on a fixed income because I live in a retirement community and they have no choice. Because when it comes down to it, you got to pay your bills. You got to keep your lights on. You got to keep your internet on. You got to have water. You got to be able to do laundry. So what goes by the wayside? Food goes by the wayside. Okay, well, I'll pay all my bills and then fuck it. I'll figure out how to eat. I'll go to the food bank. I'll stretch my meals. I'll eat top ramen. I'll eat mac and cheese. These things are what Americans are going through right now. And Biden gives no shits about that. But I did hear Bobby Kennedy yesterday talking about food cut stamps and how he knows people who are trying to eat on $89 a month. $89 a month. You can't even buy fucking seasonings for $89 a month. And it's a shame that nobody else is talking about it. Cornell needs to step up when it comes to this, because people in this country are fucking hungry. And if adults are hungry, then kids are hungry. How many kids are going without food since that food camp, that SNAP cut came through? They cut SNAP at a time when inflation was at the highest it's ever fucking been. There has not been a cost of living adjustment for SNAP in years that I know about. Yeah, I'm fiery about this one because god damn it, I'm hungry and it pisses me off. I eat top ramen literally every day. Me too, DC. I'm a top ramen eater. I like to slice up some spicy sausages, throw it in there, sprinkle some, maybe some chives or onion tops in there, green onion tops. And then here's the best thing. You got to put just a hint of some sesame oil in there. Oh, and then throw some hot sauce. Of course, I'm a hot sauce girl. I'm like Hillary. I got hot sauce in my bag. I don't, but I like Frank's. I'm a Frank's Red Hot. That's my thing. Find your local farmer market. Amber just dropped you guys a link. It's www.nfnd.org to find your local farmer market. Support the local farmers. Buy eggs locally. Don't go buy those freaking bleached out nasty ones from the store. There's so many people that are selling eggs around you. I promise you, unless you live in the big city. Who was it? Was it Pasta yesterday? Yeah, he had James Rogowski on, right? And what a great interview. But I got to say, one of the things that he pointed out that I thought was so important is when it comes to the WHO, this fucking treaty that they're putting on us where they're going to take our sovereignty. He says people aren't talking about the right thing when they talk about this treaty. Everybody's just talking about how it takes away regional sovereignty. But that's not the problem. The problem is it puts a fucking a swipe wand in all of these hands. They'll be able to kick your chicken coop door in and swab your fucking chickens to find out if they've got some kind of Asian bird flu or something, really, that's going to be the problem with the WHO. So don't get fooled again. Yeah, DC, don't get fooled again. I just thought that was interesting because you don't ever hear anybody talking about that, how they can come out to your rural farm and decide that your chickens are a problem and they all have to be exterminated, right? They're going to be out there looking for the next pandemic, right? They're going to have all this funding to go look for the next problem. That's what I see. Go watch what Pasta did yesterday. He did such a great job. And I know he's on one today too. I just feel bad. Pasta brought me this and I don't know if he wanted it played or not. I don't know if I'll take a strike for it or not. Screw it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
250 bands on this submarine. I'm finna go explore Atlantis in this submarine. I'm about to go and see some shit niggas never seen. I'm about to go explore Titanic in this submarine. Submarine got PlayStations, TV screen. Submarine got everything a rich nigga need. 250 bands for this submarine. My drip different, nigga. I'm a ball under the sea. I want the black little mermaid. I'ma beat her cheeks. I'm in the kitchen like I'm SpongeBob. I'm turning on the grease. I'm in the studio. I'm off the dome like Sandy Cheeks. I'm in the submarine. I'm about to go explore the 7 seas. I'm smoking famous cookie in this submarine. Submarine got 20-inch display, 2K on the screen. Submarine brought the whole team, niggas living the dream. And if we die, at least we died on this submarine. 250 bands on this submarine. I'm finna go explore Atlantis in this submarine. I'm about to go and see some shit niggas never seen. I'm about to go explore Titanic in this submarine. Submarine got PlayStations, TV screen. Submarine got everything a rich nigga need. 250 bands for this submarine. My drip different, nigga. I'm a ball under the sea.
Kevin pressured. I didn't miss it, but that was funny. Hashtag Team Orca. That was funny, Pasta. That was funny. Thanks for sharing that with me. Guess what, guys? I got a box today. Look, I have an actual Assange. I don't know why it's glitching out. I guess it sees the green in it. A free ribbon. If you haven't seen these boxes, they are amazing. Yeah, I don't want to show you my address, but you got it anyways. But you get so much good stuff in these boxes. Please go to Halo Benson, Holo Benson on Twitter, and she will send you these information boxes. She self-addresses the envelopes. Look, that's addressed to Patty Murray, Senator Patty Murray. And all I got to do is copy this letter in my own handwriting and throw it in the mailbox, and it goes out and it brings awareness. And, you know, she's great. She asked for donations for these boxes. But, you know, if you're out there and you're a part of the Assange army, she will get it out to you. She loads it up with lots of flyers. You guys know I'm going to go hit my local parade for 4th of July, and I will be handing these free speech flyers out everywhere. It's just such a great idea, and it's such an easy way to get information out. I love my ribbon. I can't wait to hang it in my window and let everybody know I support freeing Assange. So, of course, Assange's birthday is Monday, guys. Monday. So let's get out there and make it count. If you're in Seattle, get your ass over to, what is it, 46th Street or 45th, Amber? They're going to do a drop. And I know that there's events all over the country. And Caitlin Johnstone's got a big thing that she's doing. So this is absolutely fabulous. Caitlin Johnstone is auctioning off her Archibald piece of Julian Assange's dad holding a photograph of his son, which proceeds going to fight to free him. So this will raise money to free Assange. You have 2 days left to bid for this piece, which will be held in a historic masterpiece in years to come. It will be a historic masterpiece. I absolutely believe that. And there is the address if you want to go check it out. I think you can go over to John Shipton's Twitter page, and here's what the picture looks like. Isn't that cool? I would totally bid on that. I would. That is really freaking cool. So let's go raise some money for Assange and celebrate his birthday, guys. I think that is so important. I got to stop saying guys. Crystal ball, man. I'm not Crystal. I need to say y'all. Y'all? Is that what it is? Uncle Warren's in the house. Hey, Uncle Warren. Extra Bola. If you're not following Extra Bola's channel, make sure you go follow Extra Bola. And yeah, I just got a message from Comrade Misty.
Like,
we are so fucked. We're so fucked. We are so fucked, you guys. Again, I'm sorry for being cynical, but seriously,
No.
we're fucked. We are
Right.
fucked. We are well and truly fucking fucked.
We are. If you didn't know, we are definitely. So I kind of got a short show today because normally Pasta brings more and we go longer. So I don't bring a lot of slides and clips. And I'm sorry, Pasta was so cloudy today. Maybe I need to buy the bigger frame rate. I don't know, because I'm at 30 and I really would like to have 60, but you have to pay more to have 60. So you can join me tomorrow for Trailer Park Pundit Uncensored. And of course, next Friday, I got Kit from Heartlands Media coming on. So that'll be fun. But tomorrow, I already got some great stories for Uncensored. You won't find me on YouTube for Fridays because it's uncensored and everything I couldn't talk about all week is on this deck. And we got some stuff. We got a new movie that's going to drop about trafficking called The Sound of Freedom that everybody is talking about. I think that drops on the 4th. I'm definitely, and they go into adrenochrome on that. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. Let's see. I've got Bigfoot warnings from the U.S. Parks Department. Oh, what else do we got here? Job creations for Trump. Yeah. And versus Biden. Who actually owns the media? Yeah, I got a nice breakdown on that. And of course, we're going to get into Fauci too. We're going to talk about AIDS. Yeah, AIDS. And the Nazca lines. They found 4 new Nazca lines. We'll break that down tomorrow too. So I'm already working on tomorrow's show. I got a lot of good stuff for you. And let's see what else I got on the deck. Of course, Beauty and the Boomer. I've been working on Beauty and the Boomer. We are going to Scarborough Fair this Saturday night, and it should be fun. That's not the card. I don't know why that old card is up, but we're gonna have fun decking it all out. I put some crazy stuff on the deck. So I did a little refacing of Hunter and Joe, and you're gonna want to see it. It's hilarious. If you guys want to help me out, you can hit my PayPal, and PayPal is the easiest and fastest way right now that's not messing with me. I still haven't got paid from Buy Me a Coffee. I don't know what the hell. But I hear there's problems with stripes. I always read Hacker News because my son's really big into that. And I read an article last night on how payouts and stripes having problems for YouTube, for all kinds of things. So yeah, working on a brave new future for tomorrow night. All right, Amber, Chanda, you should stop by. Okay. I don't think I'm doing anything tomorrow night. I can stop by, Amber. Send me a link. I'll come hang out for sure. Let's see. It's Thursday. What's worth watching today? I don't know. I just follow you guys around. Like, if you guys are in a chat, I'm there. That's all I have for today, man. I want to get outside, play in the garden. I got blight, guys. I've got blight on my tomatoes. It's early blight, so I should be able to get rid of it. But I got to go out, do some trimming, get them to air out. I'm going to hit them with a little baking soda and oil and dish soap. Hopefully kill that blight off before it destroys my plants, because it's already got a pretty bad hold of them. But I hear blight is just one of those things that you can't, everybody gets it. You just got to know how to combat it. Cash App and Chime working? Yes, thank you. Cash App and Chime are working. They are in the link below. You know, if you don't know what Chime is U.S. Bank Corp. It's owned by U.S. Bank Corp. But all of our banks are like our media. They're all owned by conglomerates, right? But Chime has been the kindest card I've had being poor. You know what they do? If you get a $200 direct deposit every month into that account, they give you what they call Spot Me. And you can get up to a $200 Spot Me depending on how good your credit is or how long you've been with them. And that allows you to overdraft your account. You know, if you have debits coming in like I do from fucking all of these subscriptions I have to pay for, it covers it. And you don't get a $35 fee. And then when you get paid, you just pay it back, and you can leave a tip of, 2%, 10%, whatever. And that money goes to helping somebody else get a Spot Me cover. So I love that I'm actually helping my neighbor who has a Chime card be able to maybe make it through the end of the month too. And then they send me a report at the end of the month that says, you saved $435 on overdraft fees this month. Like, overdraft fees just ate me alive for so many years. I finally got to the point where I was like, fuck this. I'm just shutting down all my bank accounts. I'd only have a savings account so I could cash checks or whatever. And I dealt in cash only. That's the only way I could get around, bank fees. And so I'm really content with Chime. I've had Chime for, since 2016, I want to say. So they've been good, right? And I've never had an entity be able to come in and take the money either. And the best feature of Chime is you get an app on your phone and it has a toggle. So you can turn your account off to where nothing can come through. If you got $30 left and you need that $30 for something else, you can turn your account off and nothing can come in and take that money. It just denies it and bounces it back. And then if you want to spend it, you turn it back on, spend the money, and there you are. I think that is so awesome in these days where you have to give out your bank information and people can just come in and debit you whenever they want, right? So, I mean, and if you use my name at Chanda-Masta, you'll get $100. Yeah, I think you get $100 and I get $100. So I don't know. I'll have to look at that. But I don't advocate for banks, but I do advocate for saving money. And if you could save on fucking overdraft fees, do it. Do it. Barb, I have Chime. They are good. And I have Spot Me too. Isn't it great? I love it. I love it. It's been so great. And yeah, my Spot Me's turned off right now because YouTube didn't pay me for 2 months. So my bank said, well, you don't get direct deposits anymore. I'm like, I do. Talk to YouTube. They decided to censor me. I think our last strike drops off today. Is it today or next month? I don't know, but we're getting close to losing all the strikes we took in April and May, man. We took a bunch of strikes. And I think it's going to get worse, guys. I think it's going to get much worse. I'm waiting for the crackdown. You just never know, right? It's like having an abusive stepdad. You never know when he's going to come home pissed off and start screaming and smashing shit, right? I grew up in a domestic violence home. I feel the same way about YouTube. They're being really nice right now. They're letting us talk about elections. They're even letting us talk about COVID. They're not beating any of us on the head. But then tomorrow we'll wake up and for something random that we're all talking about, boom, 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 we'll all take strikes for it. Or who knows, maybe a year from now, something we talked about, they'll all come in and strike us for. I don't know, but it is an abusive relationship that I have with YouTube for sure. Barbara, hey, they aren't like the government cards when you have to use them by 8. Yeah, the government cards, if you have one of those government issued Social Security cards, say you're on Social Security, they send you a government card. That's where your money's going to go, unless you directed it into your own bank account. But for most poor people that don't have a bank account, when they get set up, they just go, okay, here's a card. They are so limited on where you're allowed to use that card and how you're allowed to use that card. It is fucking Orwellian insane. It is insane. And there should be a law against it. I think if somebody gives you money, that is your money. They don't have the right to tell you how and where you can spend it. And that's going to be the problem with CBDCs, right? 100%. Oh, sorry. Here's $100, but if you don't spend it at these places by this time, we're just going to take it away from you. I have only CU better banks in North Dakota. Yeah, this bank is based in North Dakota. The bank corp is. I wish you guys outside of Iowa could join. Yeah, me too. Me too, Snork. Well, you guys have been great today. I wish I had more to blab on about, but I'm going to go find stuff to blab on about for tomorrow, right? Thanks, Oz. Great show. Everyone's watching, and I have no deck. I have nothing to share, so I'm going to go play in my garden. It's finally summer here and 66 degrees in the Pacific Northwest, so yeah, that's like summer here. Gregory Walker, thank you so much for the Super A. Don't forget to read my $2 tip. I'm sorry. Let me go find it. Tips. I don't see it. Oh, the very top. Okay. Pasta Shandog. Can people support Dr. West if he is anointed by the Greens with no primary? Ooh, that is a good question for Pasta, Gregory. That really is. You know, like I've said, I'm not getting on board with anybody. I don't care if it's the Greens. I don't care if it's RFK Jr. You know, at this point, I think our election system is just so broken that it doesn't matter at the end of the day, right? And that's what I've learned in the last 8 years. And I love that, you know, Cornell brings conversation. I love that Bobby brings conversation. But at the end of the day, none of it matters. So will I vote Green Party? I probably will. I know I'm not voting for a Dem. And here's the question. Here's the question to go out with today. If RFK Jr. gets the nominee, can you bring yourself to vote Democrat? Not to say that that would ever happen, but in fantasy world, if he did, could you bring yourself to vote Democrat? I got to tell you, it's going to be a hard one for me to mark Democrat on any fucking ballot in the future, ever, never. And because I've been an advocate for third parties for so long, and I voted third party for the last couple of years, I'd say I'd probably be more inclined to want to vote. But then if it's Trump, they're like, are you insane? You wouldn't vote for Biden to knock Trump out? Like, I don't know, guys. I don't know. It's a cartoon we live in, right? So closing with the Dems, all I've got to say is this closing song that I brought today is inspired by Sabby Sabs. If you haven't gone over and followed Sabby Sabs, I know all of you guys do. She was over on the Hill yesterday, right? She did a Hill rising segment. And I love it because she goes, well, you know, the Democrats, you just got to ask yourself, what have they done for me lately? Like Janet Jackson said, right? And I was like, oh my God, that's so good. I got to go find me a what have you done for me lately cover. And I found a funny one. So yeah, what have the Dems done for you lately? Hurt you, starve you, jab you. They've done a lot of things, but help you is not one of them. Okay, guys, I am out of here. I will see you tomorrow morning. Same bat time, same back channel. Do no harm. And yeah, have a great day.
So tell me, what's up with this guy? Oh, I love him. He's really sweet. He's done a lot of nice things for me. Yeah, but what has he done for you lately? Used to be a time when you would pamper me. Used to brag about it all the time. Your friends seem to think that you're so bitchy keen, but my friends say neglect is on your mind. Who's right? What have you now it seems your dancing feet are always on my couch. Good thing I could go else would stop to death, ain't that a shame? What have you done for me lately? Ooh, yeah. What have you done for me lately? Ooh, yeah. I never asked for more than I deserve. You know that's the truth. You seem to think it God's gift to this earth. I'm telling you, no way. You ought to be thankful for the little things, but little things are all you seem to give. You're always putting up what we could do today. So Bumper says, we've got one life to live. Who's right? Who's wrong? What have you done?